I don't have time really to do justice to all the other issues. So I'd like, if I may, to deal with the first question that was raised. You see, Michael and I have very many things in common. And one of them is a love of the city of Nablus in Palestine. He moved mountains to get 18 people in Preston to support my city of Dundee with Nablus. 27 years ago, I had the advantage of being in command of the majority of the council that Michael did not have. And Dundee City Hall became the first public building in the Western world to fly the Palestinian flag. In 1980, 27 years ago. I joined this Palestinian cause in 1975, 32 years ago. It seems like another lifetime. And I did so because of all the many injustices there are in the world, of all the many crimes that our country has committed in the world, in our time as empire, an empire on which the sun never set. As my old grandfather used to say, that's because God would never trust the British in the dark. Couldn't afford to let the sun set upon it. Palestine was the one that stood out most for me, because it was the only one in which we, our country, promised somebody else's country. And that led, you know, we hear a lot of talk about Iran wiping people off the face of the earth, off the map. There's only one country being wiped off the map, and it's Palestine. Go and check your atlas and see. And the Palestinian people were scattered to the four winds as refugees, stateless, paperless, statusless, hunted from pillar to post, massacred by this or that Arab regime, puppet presidency or corrupt kingdom. But to add insult to that very considerable injury, the Palestinian people were called the terrorists. And the people who actually were the terrorists were called the victims of terrorism. It was such an Orwellian reversal of the truth that it burned in my breast as a rage which has never dimmed. Now the terrorist state of Israel, which has broken more international laws than all other countries in the world put together, which has broken more United Nations Security Council resolutions than anybody else, which has, by the way, hundreds of nuclear weapons, which are acquired illegally with British and American help. We're threatening to bomb Iran, which doesn't have a single nuclear weapon, whilst Israel is allowed to have hundreds of nuclear weapons, most of them pointed at Iran. The injustice of this is so outrageous. It surely moves the hearts of anyone with a heart if the case is put to them. You know, Israel has never been sanctioned, never been attacked, never been threatened with war by Britain or America. The only sanction, I say, Israel's ever had to face is to be forced to participate in the Eurovision Song Contest every year. It's punishment, I know, but it hardly fits the crime. So I agree with the first question. Palestine must be the first banner in our international platform. Not just because of the scale of the injustice, but because of the absolute authorship of that injustice of our own country here in Britain, in the building in which I have sat for nearly 21 years. This deed was done. This crime was committed. Everybody should be boycotting Israeli products. Not just because Israel is a rogue state, but because they're probably not Israeli products at all. They're probably grown on stolen land, using stolen water, stolen from the Palestinian people themselves. I had the ignominious, I say this to the Muslims here, the ignominious fate during Ramadan to be going around Muslim-owned shops, pointing out to them that they were selling dates from Israel to the faithful people to break their fast. Dates which had Palestinian blood on them. So we must start with the Muslim shopkeepers, and the rest of the shops must be picketed. People must organize behind the Palestinian Solidarity banner to do positive things for the Palestinians, like twinning. You don't have to be in command of a local authority to twin. Your school can twin with a Palestinian school, your hospital, your union, your church, your mosque. Believe me, a little from here goes a long way.